I'm Catherine Walker. I am a disciple of Jesus Christ. I grew up in a very normal family. I had a mom and a dad, and I was from a family of 5. I was the second oldest. It was a Catholic upbringing. Once I completed high school, I entered into the working world and found myself really more involved in career than anything, and moved into the city where I engaged into a sales opportunity and started making nice money and socializing with people who were also in professional environments. And there was one gentleman that I met. We started a relationship. Unfortunately, this relationship really was something that couldn't go too much farther because it turned out that he was married. I was deceived initially, and unfortunately, as a result of this relationship, I became pregnant. Just the reality of becoming pregnant and being a mom, which was, the dream. But then I really realized very quickly that this was something that was not going to come to full term. The only reality was that I was to get an abortion. Other options never came up in conversation. After the abortion, I continued on with pursuing what I thought would be the right thing. Lived my life, did my career, continued to date, and found myself facing the same situation again, and had a second abortion, and unfortunately a third abortion. But then I found myself in an incredible journey of depression and emptiness that I wasn't really able to really face completely. And as I still continue to want my dream of marriage and family and all of that, I found myself once again facing a fourth abortion. The harsh reality kind of entered in that was probably going to be the last opportunity for me to be a mom. So that dream was behind me. I did meet a wonderful man that was Catholic, and because I still had the desire to be married and have a life with somebody in a marital status, for a variety of reasons, he and I had a very tough 10 years, which unfortunately ended in divorce without children. So I came to Christ Community through the divorce recovery program. My healing took place there. And simultaneously, I just started serving, joined a small group, and started doing church. As I continued to attend services, I had heard that there was going to be a touch point on abortion, which still was my deep, dark secret. I still had not dealt with completely. And there was a couple that were to give their testimony. And they sat there, and Pastor Jim, interviewed them, and they just bore their soul. It was so powerful. It was so incredible to see the strength that they had and the transparency that they had. And there was an announcement made that for women who would like to have prayer because of this, it was available in a room off to the side that they could go. But it was going to require, leaving the church and going up a flight of stairs. And up front, there was prayer warriors that were standing up there. And there was a lady there that I knew very well from Kids World, because I was serving so consistently in Kids World that we had built up friendship. And I went up to her and I grabbed her and I put my arms around her neck, and I was sobbing, and I said, this is my situation. This is what I've been going through. I said, I can't go up there. I can't go up there. People know me. And the shame of it all. And She goes, I'll take you up there. And I said, who's up there? And she says, Jesus is there. And it was just a moment I'll never forget. She walked me up to the room, and she handed me off to a wonderful woman who prayed over me, a prayer that was so significant. And I just felt completely relieved and healed and forgiven from all that pain that I went through, all 4 of those abortions. And it was just my moment. There was a small group that started for post-abortion recovery that we were asked if we wanted to be part of. And it was definitely of interest to me. When I walked into the room, the women that I saw in there were women that I knew from the church. It was just such an eye-opener. And it's like, wow, I'm not the only one. There are other women here who have had this experience. And we healed together. We went through this journey for 8 or 12 weeks, I can't remember. But we all cried together, and we shared stories, and we learned about what God's really, what His healing heart is all about. Even this God will forgive us of. And because of what His Son did on the cross. And we became whole, and we received the freedom that comes with that. And following that experience, my life has never been the same.